A bunch of the creative team is going to be here. They're going to be kind of talking about Halloween Horror Nights. Evolving the nightmares of Halloween Horror Nights. For Vegas happening, how is the production schedule going to change now that you're kind of focusing on... Okay, so guys, we're currently at St. Louis at Transworld. If you don't know what that is, it's where all the haunters fly in from all over the world and they buy all their new animatronics. We're going to show you some of the latest technologies. And also, Universal Studios has 2 panels talking about Halloween Horror Nights, so I'm going to give you guys some info about that for what's coming. Let the fun begin. Now, one of my favorite places to always stop is the Distortions booth because they have some of the best animatronics out there. If you have a haunt, you can buy every single facet of that haunt here. I just want to kind of highlight all the different cool animatronics, costumes, and props that they have. A lot of them you never get to see in person. You can see photos online, but when you see them in person, you're like, oh, look at the level of detail that they have. You can buy fully pre-made, pretty much like escape rooms. Here's one with like Frankenstein, where I think you could probably find his different body pieces and put it in, and he'll like become alive. We didn't know they give out free Dippin' Dots. It just turned 12 o'clock. We had to rush over to the Dippin' Dot booth right now to get our free Dippin' Dots. All right, we made it to the promised land of Dippin' Dots. Is this the best part?
Of course.
And here's like a little Dippin' Dots Yeti mascot. Oh man, he's going to town on those Dippin' Dots.
Go on down and get you some Dippin' Dots. Gary does.
How many years have you been scaring?
30 years and still going.
What's your favorite thing about scaring?
Watching my women run from me. They love me, but they run.
Gary's kind of like a staple of like the haunt community and Transworld. He works at all these different haunts all over the place. He's a very interesting soul. Okay, Chocolate Treasures makes all this stuff fully out of chocolate. You have large chocolate skulls, you have giant chocolate Ouija boards. You can buy chocolate brains, chocolate rats. So you can purchase like these realistic hands. I'm sure this is used for many things, so we're just gonna leave that there. Oh, it's wet. Ever wondered what Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein's baby looks like? This is it. They have a Nosferatu right here. He just kind of looks like a green Ozzy Osbourne, though.
Careful what you say about my boyfriend. Sorry, baby.
Now, Curtain Studios has a little booth here. As you know, they make a lot of the props and sculptures in Orlando, and also they make all the floats for the Universal Studios Mardi Gras. Now, a lot of these animatronics is stuff you're gonna see kind of at Home Depot and Lowe's. See what they have to offer for this year. All right, here's a 10-foot tall Grim Reaper. He's gonna be $270.
For me to take another soul.
You have a Grim Reaper reading the Book of the Dead right there, and then there's a gravestone right underneath him, and the gravestone will open up. Watch this. Oh, that's so good. We should have kind of a standard Phantom. It's gonna be a wailing Phantom. What's going on with his lips though? Here's a ghost woman over a tombstone. She just kind of like goes back and forth, nothing too special. These you'll probably see at Lowe's or Home Depot. They always have these pumpkins. There's a really cool effect happening in the flaming rotting skull. A faceless candle, and then here's a flaming pumpkin. Pumpkin stalker. Here's another big guy. He's probably like 10 feet tall. There's a pumpkin that talks, and he talks. It's a prowling jack. This pumpkin kind of looks like he's going to pumpkin prom or something with the way he's dressed up. Look at this carny. This giant like rat man. Oh, that thing is gnarly. Here's some like vampire bat guy in a cocoon. Graveyard host. There's a giant harvester guy. There's a creepy witch. Oh, look at her talk. She definitely needs some dentures. She's got nothing going on. She's nom-nomming it. Then I'm loving this like haunted spooky tree. That thing is so good. Another creepy witch. Oh, look at this person with like some lawn loppers. That just stresses me out. Oh, this is a weird, like, it almost looks like a Nosferatu, but like a pumpkin witch. Here's the sitting scarecrow. This thing jumps when, oh God, there we go. Yes. I was talking with the guy, I was like, will I see any of this stuff in Lowe's or Home Depot this year? He said the contracts aren't locked down yet, but he said when the stuff does come to Lowe's and Home Depot and Spirit Halloween, it's a different variation of these animatronics. So it won't look the exact same, but it'll be a slightly different version at all the department stores. Look at this weird little spider baby. Here's like a burned woman with all these really cool like full ghillie suit costumes, some like mutant pumpkin man. This is called the Big Papa Pumpkin. Imagine being in a cornfield pumpkin patch and seeing that towering over you. I'm digging this like gill man. He's carrying some fish, but that face will definitely give you nightmares. This is a scarecrow. That is the quality content you guys came here for. For $10, you can buy a poopsicle. That's right, a poopsicle. For $50 a ticket, you can be entered in for a chance to win a hearse. Here we have the official Haunt Bee. They're like haunted Barbies. What has happened to all these poor Barbies? I'm set to go to the back. What's in there? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, it moves. Oh, it's an actual person. Oh my God. I thought it was an animatronic. I don't know how she's sitting like that the whole day. No, oh. I'm gonna slowly walk her away now. Great t-shirt. Love the Beastie Boys. How's your cookie?
Spooky.
Oh, it's got raisins, that's why. So we're gonna try a new experience, the Horror Cart Ride VR.
Who's been drinking?
I just did it. Again, I've done many things in VR in my time. It's fine. VR needs to work when you feel like you're actually there and it's you doing the movements. The movements were just kind of cartoony and you're just kind of like all over the place. So I think the graphics were decent compared to other VRs, but as a immersive horror thing, it was kind of cheesy and corny. Ever play like like arcade shooters where it's like House of the Dead, you're just kind of like gliding through everything. There's like spooky, scary moments. That's kind of like what it was like. They're saying it would cost patrons $12 a pop to do that. I wouldn't pay 12 bucks for that. We're not at that level of like what the Void was with like VR and immersion. Now the Markov's crew is gonna be riding it. You guys look very cool right now. Are you scared?
I'm scared. Oh my God.
How was it? How was it?
That was awesome, but I'm a little dizzy.
So it's a great bargain. It's only $70,000 for it.
Oh my God, it's pennies.
So one of the things is you buy these props, like we showed you guys last year. It's haunt season and the props have not arrived. It's been over a year and we have yet to receive these like little electric cattle prod things. So they're kind of grilling the company to be like, where's our stuff? What's the deal?
I looked it up. I found my thing that they were requesting payment. I'm like, I thought I already paid. So I go, well, I must not have paid. And the guy's like, well, why don't we just double check? So we went in there and sure enough, I had paid for it, which I thought I did. So they're gonna send me a new one.
So we'll get that next year?
Yeah, we'll get it in a couple years.
Oh, this looks like somebody's been put in a vat of like acid or something. They have these like tanks they can put masks and different heads in. All right, so this is gonna be Ghost Ride. This company made the giant large guy that went in the prison that they didn't deliver on time. But they got some new cool stuff though. The Big Rot Mindy, she's coming out of the pumpkin, she's being birthed. Probably have to blur all this stuff because there's a lot of these props are just so grotesque and so real. So we're just gonna blur everything. I feel like this like Grinch is gonna move at any second.
It's not the Grinch.
No, green meanie. These are like bodysuits that you can put underneath your costume or if you just want to look like that, but that's so gnarly. This is like a zombie chimp. It's a really cool like mutant ghoul look. Oh, there's like some sort of spider or parasite growing out of their head. And this is one of those giant heads that they can push out at you. Weird like sewer creature. They also have massive Christmas trees here. Giant light up dance pad. and they have all the lights that match with it. We've entered the land of Christmas. Santa literally is tall as like a skyscraper. This thing is probably like 3 or 4 stories tall. Then they just have a little Grinch. Grinch isn't as big as Santa. He's a little upset about that. There's a massive Rudolph over here. I love the names that they have. Red-nosed deer, mascot Yeti, and this is just the Grouch costume. So the sign next to the Grinch costume says about our Grouch costume. We just didn't copy a similar character and put a price on it. We spent time, money, and effort in producing a character similar to another green favorite, but enough differences to ensure you that it's not a copy and you are not infringing on a trademark infringement. The copy that holds the trademark to the character has noticed and approved the differences. With that, yes, we are more expensive. It costs us money to make sure it didn't cost our customers money down the road. We didn't gamble. We did our job. Make sure you can own this costume without worries of what if we get sued? You are paying now, not later. They walk in a fine line. Just like a Christmas light overload. So the companies come out here, they buy the, the lights, and then you'll see them at your local theme parks all over the country. You guys aren't here for the Christmas stuff. Let's head back to all the spooky stuff. Heading off to our first seminar. You have to pay for the seminars. But so Universal Studios here, some of the creative team is here, they're giving little seminars and talking about different things during the panel. So the first one we're gonna go to is the Universal Great Movie Escape. If you didn't know, Universal City Walk, they have like an escape room. It's a escape experience where they have Jurassic World and Back to the Future. I made a video about it. It's amazing. So I'm hoping they reveal some cool little details didn't pick up on. Maybe they might even talk about expanding like an escape room for Vegas for Halloween Horror Nights. I'm gonna go in there and kind of let you know the rundown of everything. All right, here we go. Universal's Great Movie Escape story is the event. Okay, we've transported back to the office real quick. I gotta talk about some of the stuff that they talked about in the panel. So in the planning phase when they were pitching this idea, right, of having this amazing escape experience, properties that they talked about pitching was Jaws, E.T., Back to the Future, Jurassic World, Universal Monsters. I think this is what's gonna be happening. They're building the Halloween Horror experience in Vegas. I think they're going to have something to keep people in there a longer time. And I think they're going to be bringing one of these escape experiences to Vegas. I think it might be Universal Monsters themed. I think they'll probably have some houses, maybe this escape experience with some bars. Now it's time to go back to Transworld. We have the other Halloween Horror Nights panel a little later in the day. I will update you guys about all that stuff in a little bit. So on that note, back to the Transworld. Okay, we just finished that panel. I was just kind of nerding out for an hour long. Here's a weird like mannequin. Her face has been like peeled off, like a robot underneath. An evil little clown, little Jack in the Box. This is like a Davy Jones mask. Look at the detail. A face hugger crawling out of it. Just look at the gloss. Here's like a Krampus piece. Merry Christmas. This looks like a steampunk, almost like Mars Attack, Martian. Look at the brain on him. And the shoulder buddies have a little hand on your shoulder. Cosplay as Wednesday Addams, or you can purchase a little baby in a diaper. They have these funky little alien ones, little devils that can go on your shoulder. It looks like a weird little Furby or something.
Hello, my baby.
Look at all these animatronics. This is a cool like bison, like a haunted bison. How you doing there, Scarecrow? This just looks like 2 old people chilling in a nursing home or something. Hey, how are you doing? I'm 103 today. I'm digging this tree.
I want bear. Oh, yeah.
They have a massive pumpkin here. Let's go inside the little pumpkin hidey hole. What do we have? Oh, wow. Transworld has a mascot now. It's a Slurge. I don't know what he is. They got some photo ops, some alien creature putting acid into their head, and then here's like a mutant baby. You can buy this mutant baby for $2,500. You can crawl through it like a little kid playground. You know, spooky guy out here about to throw a pumpkin. It's a pumpkin with a skull coming out from inside, and it lights up. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is so creepy. Time for you guys to adopt?
Yes, this will be our new child.
So Immortal Mask makes some of the most bonkers masks you could ever imagine. No, I haven't seen these yet. These have lights in them. This is like a rock monster with lava.
Their stuff is always like the best of the best. It's super expensive, but the quality and the craftsmanship is out of this world.
Now the 13th floor has this massive like abandoned mansion here. Now the highlight of the show is going into the dark zone.
This is where you can see all the really cool animatronics and the proper lighting. Because when you're on the show floor, it's show floor lighting. This is where it's, oh, yes.
Welcome to Transworld.
They have the Halloween shirt company. This is the company that puts all their shirts in like All Hallows Eve Boutique and the Tribute store. There's like the Universal shirts, then there's also the Halloween company. So like this stuff is currently at the Mardi Gras Tribute stores. I'm sure you guys recognize this one in Frankenstein, but we haven't gotten this one. I'm really digging this one. This is the Wolfman. Look at this monkey. Look how terrifying it is. Can you imagine this banging in front of you? I love this company because they really want to go into those really cool practical effects and puppetry. Like, look at this. You know when you like go to Home Depot, you got to pick out a rug, you look through all the rugs. Here it's like, this is where you purchase like the walls, right? And then you can add a different painting effects if you'd like, but it's kind of like the prefabricated molds, right? Of pumpkins, brick walls. If you have like a mummy scene, they have these. If you have a morgue or just like an abandoned haunted house, cute little goblin guy is helping out with some donuts. Oh, look at this like fish guy. Looks like they caught a giant fish, and here's a terrifying fisherman. Very looking Bigfoot. Got all the blood coming out of his mouth. Now, this is definitely someone's weird fetish out there. A clown spitting into their mouth. It's like a dino alien baby. So this is Little Spider Creations. Kind of did those Airbnbs in Orlando that are like Harry Potter themed and Star Wars themed. They did those. Let's do a quick little walk through their booth. All these pumpkins. Oh God, where are we going now? Almost looks like a submarine diver, but it's like an alien. And to breathe, he's got some sort of plants. Just love the design of these costumes. Look at these ghillie suits you can get. Here's one of this like rainbow moth. And here's just kind of like a standard ghillie suit.
You get closer. Oh, that's cool.
Cool. It's like you wear a lanyard. If you get closer to the sensor, it'll have sensors throughout the haunt, and the little light will pop up, be brighter. But it's interesting that they're using Jack, because I don't think that's a Universal booth, but they have Jack's face and the Universal logo on it.
What?
Welcome to St. Louis. This is where we're going for company meeting.
Logistically not wanting to
Having nightmares every night.
I want everything.
Paul, you've had your team meeting.
It's very integral to this whole event.
It really is, Kevin.
What are you guys about to do?
We're gonna probably discuss for another 4 hours what prop we may or may not buy.
Today is kind of the day where all the haunts buy their stuff. So right now, Paul and Nick are spending a lot of money. They're buying different animatronics, right? Because sometimes it's cheaper just to buy them than to build them.
And it saves you some time, right?
Lots and lots of time.
I'm out of money.
Look at this Frankenstein. You come around, and there's a little rat crawling out of the back of its head.
It's got like a little gopher grabber.
It's like a little Muppet. No.
Hi, Kevin.
Sculpted the head, and then there's like...
Say dog pooper scooper.
It's so simple, but so good. It's like Groot's little redneck relative or something.
I am fat.
You look like a pretty fun guy to hang out with.
After this, I gotta split.
Oh.
Kevin, what are you doing at Transworld?
Out a little bit further. I just have a huge head. The biggest head ever.
Okay, I love this. It's the Jaws poster, but it's in 3D, right? So you see her swimming up top, and you turn the corner, and you see Bruce.
You're a tree hugger now.
Look at this spooky, haunted little cookie.
Actually, a homeless guy come up and told me I was on his corner. I said, no, this is my corner now. The one year I had a cup full of money and the dude ran up and took it.
Oh my
It was on the news too over. Yeah, can Santa have some fireballs for Christmas this year? I know my nightmares will come true this year.
What's going on right now?
Bunny trouble.
There's some random sheep, and they're trying to put like a topiary of a giant Easter bunny inside the back of a trailer.
Topiary couch.
A topiary couch. Okay. They're getting the bunny in there right now. What is going on?
It is the moment I've been waiting for this entire little trip. It's time for the Halloween Horror Nights panel. A bunch of the creative team is going to be here. They're going to be kind of talking about Halloween Horror Nights, but I'm going to let you know if they like drop any hints about what's coming for this year at Halloween Horror Nights 2023. Let's go in. I can't film or take photos.
All right, here we go. Evolving the nightmares of Halloween Horror Nights. You've never been to HHN, but
I have not.
welcome to my realm now.
I'm so excited.
I started with you guys, and now we're here.
We just finished the panel. That was great. Got to talk to TJ again.
So things are changing since last time I saw you. For Vegas happening, how is the production schedule going to change now that you're kind of focusing on two different projects?
The reality is, and the excitement is that our team keeps expanding. We have a wonderful full-time team that focuses 100% on Halloween Horror Nights, and they're already heavily involved in this year's event. Actually start construction on houses here in the next week, which is exciting for us. And we hear this all the time. It's like, oh, that smell of lumber and fog juice. Like, yeah, that's what we love too. That's happening. The reality is that we actually have some other teams who have worked with us with Halloween in the past that are available to now separate themselves because they're not critical with our event, can look towards other opportunities.
One of the questions I think the fans have always have is sometimes the IPs change
Yeah.
very suddenly in the design room. How does it go? Like, okay, we need to come up with something. Last year, there might have been a house that was changed real quick. How did that meeting go?
I'll be honest with you, we deal with all sorts of change through our product. Weather, huge piece of that. Sometimes we get delays in, content because of things coming late, or sometimes vendors not able to because of materials. Every day we look at the business, we try to evaluate, we assess. Again, the thing that I think makes us really strong at what we do is because we change it every year. So for us, we're very comfortable, actually, probably more than we should be, about change. Living in the world of change, Anything that gets thrown at us in that capacity, if we want to change something, move it up in the schedule, sometimes we'll lose real estate in the last moment because suddenly they're building an attraction. You know what? That happened to us when they built Transformers. We actually had a haunted house designed at the location for where Transformers was built, and we were told, no, didn't have that location. We're like, what? We had to completely pick it up, design a whole new house in a whole new location. So yeah, the team is amazing. Can't say enough about what they do and how they do it. But yeah, it is something that's part of their nature that when I sit down or we get any type of these nice curveballs thrown at us, they're very focused on, okay, what's next?
How much of a change in the design for the next year? Like, oh, people love the Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah.
Let's put him in. Because you start like a year out. When does he become like, oh, relevant to then be the icon for the year?
Every year we go through the event, and as much as we're focused already on, at a certain point to next year's event, we know the reality is that there's enough flexibility in the event and time, surprisingly, because we're able to move so fast, so quick, at things that show up in this year's event that really resonate with our audience, either because it's something that they love, they respond to, want to see more of it, or they want to see extended stories or characters. We definitely capture that, and we make sure that somehow gets wrapped into next year's event so we don't miss it or lose it. So yeah, like I said, as much as we are ahead of this year for next year, we definitely still show up at the event, pay attention, and listen to what everybody says.
My last little question.
Yep.
You've been with the company for a long time. What is your favorite house that you worked on that you wish you could bring it back?
I don't know. Like I said, you can ask me this question and I will give you 6 different times you ask this 6 different answers, because it just depends. Because certain times, you know, I'm like, I love that one. And the next time I'm like, well, you know what? I love that one better. Oh, you know, I love that one. I jokingly tell people, it's like, you know, asking you were growing up and you had a computer. What was your favorite computer? Well, when you got your computer, it was the best and the coolest thing, had all the bells and whistles. And next year there was a better one and it was even cooler. That's kind of this event. It keeps evolving, and each year we get to do more and cool things. And so it's hard to go back and go, but I love that. Last year I loved this. So you got to lean on stuff that probably, you know, shaped me and shaped probably designers as they were going up too. Is that the stuff that, you know, I love The Thing, because I'm a fan of John Carpenter.
Perfect movie. Yeah.
Yes, you know, Halloween, huge. Poltergeist, you know, all those 80s, you know, really amazing films that we've now been able to bring to life here at the park. We were like gaga and you know, and just geeks of saying, this is amazing. We're getting a chance to build a house around a thing that we grew up. Yeah, I'd say all of those style of experiences, but then the original content stuff that we do, like Dead Man's Wharf last year.
So good. So good.
Killed.
Yeah.
And that was the stuff too that we're like, you know what, creating those own original stories, for me, gives me a pride of saying, I always feel that we pay attention and homage to the original monster makers of Universal. Can we be that next generation? Can we be that now group that people look toward to create new and exciting monsters to make their nightmares come true? And Dead Man's Wharf is a perfect example of that.
That is a wrap on Transworld. Let's head back to the office and talk about everything. Okay, now guys, we've officially made it back to Orlando. Wow, so much has changed since I shot that little interview with TJ. It's always a blast talking with the Universal creative team because they just want to make the best product possible, and you can just feel and sense the passion when they're talking about what they produce. That's something you don't get at Disney. Disney is just very sterile, and I think that's why it is the current state of how it is. And that's why Universal has become bigger and bigger every single year, because of the passion from that creative team. In a later video, we're gonna talk about more about what they talked about within the panel. A lot of really cool stuff. I really enjoyed that panel. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button, join the family.
I love the family.
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things spooky and scary and Halloween Horror Nights around the country. I love you all, and I'll see y'all very soon. The smell of latex and fog in the afternoon.